ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय राधिकायै प्रियात्मने श्रीमद्भक्तिवेदान्त नारायणिति नामिने। श्रीकृष्ण लीला कथने सुदक्षमौदार्यमाधुर्यगुणश्च युक्तं वरं वरेण्यं पुरुषं महन्तं नारायणं त्वां शिरसा नमामि। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमो विष्णुपादाय आचार्य सिंहरूपिणे श्रीमद्भक्तिप्रज्ञान केशव इति नामिने। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिसिद्धान्त सरस्वतीति नामिने। नमो गौरकिशोराय साक्षाद् वैराग्यमूर्तये विप्रलम्भरसाम्बोधे पादाम्बुजायते नमः। नमो भक्तिविनोदाय सच्चिदानन्दनामिने गौरशक्तिस्वरूपाय रूपनुगवरायते। गौरविर्भावभूमेस्त्वां निर्देष्टसजनप्रियः वैष्णव सार्वभौमा श्री जगन्नाथाय ते नमः। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांता नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Dandavat pranams to everyone. So, in today's class, we will be starting with our chapter 4 of Jaiva Dharma. In the last 5 classes, we covered chapter 3 very elaborately, and I hope things are clear with that. If any doubt, we can discuss it on WhatsApp or any in the group itself. Plus, one more thing that in the next week, next Friday probably, we will be having a quiz on chapter 3. So chapter 3 is one of like very important chapters, especially the last lecture. It was quite important to understand the whole yoga system and everything, Varnashram Dharma and all. So it's it's a good chapter, important chapter, and we will have a quiz for that on Friday. So today we will start with our new chapter, chapter 4, whose name is Vaishnava Dharma is Nitya Dharma. Now, before that, I would like to give a recap of the different personalities because it's like a whole story in which there are different personalities: guru, disciple, the disciple of the disciple, because it's like a whole uh, society of Vaishnavas at that time in Godrum. So many times hearing different names, a person might get confused that who was that personality. Okay, Vaishnav Das was there. Okay, Prem Das Babaji Maharaj was there. So just in few minutes, I'll try to recap those personalities and the different names, different personalities who are present in Jaiva Dharma. In this first part, the teachings that we are getting through these personalities. So just trying to recall who are the different personalities starting from chapter 1. Let me share the screen. Yeah. So I hope you remember Shri Pradyumna Brahmachari. He was the guru of Premdas Babaji Maharaj. Premdas Babaji Maharaj, in the hut in which he is staying, the groves in which he is staying, is actually his Guru Maharaj's groves. That's why the name of the grove, if you remember, it was Pradyumna Kunj. Srila Premdas Babaji Maharaj used to reside in Pradyumna Kunj in Godrum Dweep. And then Premdas Babaji Maharaj, we already know, he was the starting main personality to whom that Sannyasi Thakur, who was a Mayavadi sannyasi, he came and took shelter of Premdas Babaji Maharaj. And we also heard that how one day Premdas Babaji Maharaj took this sannyasi Thakur to meet his Gurudev, Shri Pradyumna Brahmachari, who was a great devotee of Lord Narsingha. So Sannyasi Thakur, as we heard in our previous chapters, that how he got shifted from Mayavad philosophy to Vaishnava Dharma. He very blissfully accepted, not just externally but also internally. And then his name was given as Vaishnava Das. So he became a very popular, very respectable personality in the society of Vaishnavas in the name of Vaishnav Das. And slowly, slowly, everyone started calling him also as Babaji. So his name became from Sannyasi Mahashaya, Sannyasi Thakur to Vaishnav Das Babaji Maharaj, the disciple of Prem Das Babaji Maharaj. And then in the last chapter 3, we heard that how one gentleman who was from a very rich background, he came and he asked a question, and all the assembly headed by Prem Das Babaji Maharaj, they told this Vaishnav Das, the newly converted Vaishnava from Mayavad philosophy, that Sannyasi Thakur who became Vaishnav Das, he was ordered and requested by Prem Das Babaji Maharaj to answer the question of this gentleman. So the name of the gentleman was Sri Kali Das Lahari, whose name also generally be used as Lahari Mahashaya. Mahashaya is like a respectable term. Mahashaya is used as a respectable term for any person. So everyone calls him as Lahiri Mahashaya. This is the person who asked the question in our previous chapter, chapter 3, in the assembly of Vaishnavas. And Vaishnav Das, he gave the answer to the question of Lahiri Mahashaya. Now, after that beautiful discussion of chapter 3, as we heard that how beautifully Vaishnav Das explained and replied and solved all the doubts of Lahari Mahashaya. So Lahari Mahashaya, he became very much indebted. He felt so blissful and he wanted to take shelter of Vaishnav Das. So everyone very happily accepted him properly in the Vaishnav community and gave him into the hands of Vaishnav Das. But Lahari Mahashaya at this particular time, he was not living with Vaishnav Das. He was living with whom? He was living with a landlord. There was one Babaji, another Babaji, little bit far from the place of Premdas Babaji Maharaj. This Babaji's name is Madhav Das Babaji. So this Madhav Das Babaji had two rooms. One room he is staying in himself, and another room he rented to this gentleman named Lahari Mahashay, Kalidas. So one day, Lahari Mahashay, he woke up at night, in the middle of the night, and then he found that the landlord, the Madhav Das Babaji, he is also a devotee following Vaishnavism. So this Madhav Das Babaji, he is outside in the courtyard and he is talking with a woman at the mid of the night. So when Lahari Mahashay, he observed this, he went out into the courtyard. Now the woman, seeing Lahari Mahashay, she just ran away. And this Madhav Das Babaji was standing little bit ashamed and shy. And then Lahari Mahashay, he went towards Madhav Das Babaji and he asked, Babaji, what happened? Who was this woman and what she was doing at such late hours of the night? Now Madhav Das Babaji, he replied that, oh, with so much heavy heart and so much shame in the eyes, he is replying that actually this woman is the wife, is my wife from previous ashram. Means I was a householder, I was a family man, and I got married with this woman. Then, by the association of Vaishnavas, I actually wanted to give up my household life and I wanted to stay separately. So I took sannyas and I was staying in this place, Godrum. But what happened that recently I went to one place and I found out that she also has actually left home. And when I asked her that why you left the family life, I have left for some purpose, for spirituality. Why you have left? Now she very lovingly replied that, oh, actually, there is no taste in family life without you. I was not feeling happiness in the family, in the house, because I was not getting the service of your lotus feet. Oh, my master, oh, my husband, oh, my Swami, without you, the life has no purpose, no meaning. So that's why I left my family and I came to where? I came to this particular area and I developed a hut and I'm staying in this hut. So Madhav Das Babaji, hearing the words of his wife, previous ashram wife, he went away. He did not answer anything. But then this woman, this woman started coming into that area where Madhav Das Babaji is living. And she developed a hut. She created a hut for herself very near to the hut of Madhav Das Babaji. So every day, late at night, she used to come to Madhav Das Babaji. Now, because of this, in the whole Vaishnav society, everyone started accusing Madhav Das Babaji. His image, it just fell off. And Madhav Das Babaji, he is feeling so bad that he is again getting attached to the previous ashram wife, to that woman. Because every day he is seeing her, every day she is walking around and she is going to the places which are near his hut. So they are having eye contacts and everything. Now Madhav Das Babaji Maharaj, he is slowly getting again attached to the wife. And now, when he is saying this to Lahari Mahasaya, that how such an ill fate has come upon me, because of which I am getting again attached to my household life. This is such a bad thing. I have accepted sannyas and I have taken shelter of Premdas Babaji Maharaj. It would be such a dishonor to his association. So I really want to get rid of it. This woman is actually ruining my life. She is coming close to me. She is residing near me. And then I am becoming helpless. This is such a great obstacle in my life of devotion. So speaking like this, he is crying. And then he went into his room. Lahari Mahashay, he gave him a little consoling words that it's okay, slowly, you have to be very careful. You have to get rid, you have to stay away. If she is coming, then you have to go away. And then Lahari Mahashay, he went into his room, speaking like this. Now, in the middle of the night, Lahari Mahasaya is just contemplating that, oh, this is such a danger. Although it's not danger for me, but still, because I am residing with Madhav Das Babaji, who has kind of fallen down by again entering into household life. He accepted sannyas and now he's again entering into household life. So it's like a fall down. So I don't want to reside with him. Why? Because it will be dangerous in terms of the Vaishnavas when they get to know about this. The whole Vaishnav society, they will also then start considering me like this. I will also develop a bad image. So it's very important to understand the significance of association. If I am associating with any kind of person and that person is doing something wrong, then naturally I'll also be considered a wrong person. So, to get the mercy and proper guidance of Vaishnavas in the full sense, I actually have to get rid of this association and have to stay away. So, what uh, Lahari Mahashaya he did, he left that place, the rented room of Madhav Das Babaji, and where he went? He went to his Guru Maharaj, whom? Vaishnav Das. He went to the Guru Maharaj Vaishnav Das and he just said that I want to reside near you. I want to serve you and I want to be in your proximity. And then Vaishnav Das Babaji Maharaj, he told that request to whom? Prem Das Babaji Maharaj. And Prem Das Babaji Maharaj very happily, he told that there is one hut in our Kunj nearby. You can reside there. And he got a place to stay. So now, Prem Das Babaji Maharaj, Vaishnav Das Babaji Maharaj, who is his disciple, and Vaishnav Das Babaji Maharaj disciple, whom? This Kali Das Lahari, Lahari Mahashaya. So they all are residing in the nearby area now, in the same groves. So very happily, he and very intelligently, Lahari Mahashaya shifted his physical association from Madhav Das Babaji. He shifted his room from there to here, Vaishnav Das Babaji Maharaj. So it's a great teaching for all of us who are trying to practice and progress, that how we have to put endeavors to make our atmosphere favorable. If the atmosphere, if the association is not favorable for the development of our bhakti, then in many years also we will not be able to grow as we can. So some steps should be taken to get rid of bad association and have good spiritual pure association. So when Lahari Mahasaya, he was staying in the hut of a nearby hut of Vaishnav Das Babaji Maharaj. So one day what happened? One day a snake came. It was after evening. It's like sunset already happened and it was mostly dark because that was a new moon, uh, new moon night. So with that, what happened? In that dark, dense night, Vaishnav Das Babaji was chanting in his hut and Lahari Mahashaya, he was chanting in his hut. Lahari Mahashaya was having a little lamp in his hut because it is completely dark in the night. He was sitting on his leaf mat, asan, and he was chanting very nicely. Then, by that light which is coming from that lamp, he saw a snake which entered into the room, which was around in the door, which was near the door of the hut. So now, when Lahari Mahashaya he saw this, he got so fearful. He suddenly stood up. He took his lamp and went near the door to see where the snake is. So he had seen the snake. Now to check where it is, he ran towards the door. But he found that the snake was not there. So he felt that the snake must have entered into the hut of my Guru Maharaj, who Vaishnav Das Babaji. So he ran like anything, screaming loudly, "Oh, Vaishnav Das Babaji, Vaishnav Das Babaji, there is a snake. It must have entered into your hut because I just saw that snake in my hut. And now it is not there. I was searching. It must have entered into your hut. So please be careful. Please be careful. Let's kill him. Let's kill that snake. I have brought this big, strong wooden stick. Let's kill that snake." Then now Vaishnav Das Babaji, he pacified Lahari Mahasaya and gave very beautiful teachings regarding fear. These teachings are so important for our day to day life because a great amount of restlessness comes from the fear, and how in the midst of all fearful situations the devotees, they stay very calm and peaceful and very focused. They don't get disturbed. How? What is their ideology? What is their understanding and way of dealing with this fear? Vaishnav Das Babaji is very beautifully replying that. He is saying that, "O Lahari Mahasaya, O great soul, why you are so much worrying? You should not be worrying so much." But Lahari Mahasaya, he is not able to become calm. He is saying that this place is not that good. O Vaishnav Das, our Shantipur, in which I used to stay previously, that was good in this respect specifically. Because there was no fear of snakes and scorpions or any poisonous such creatures. But in Nadia, in this Godrum, there is always so much danger of snakes. And it is especially very difficult for a refined gentleman. Refined gentleman is the one who is not very wild in terms of who does not has the experience of living in the forest, who has been grown up with all kind of facilities and safety. So for a person, because Lahari Mahasaya, his background, as we heard in the previous chapter also, that he was from a very rich background, very educated, very learned. So he is telling that for a refined gentleman background like me, it's very difficult to live in a forested area like Godrum. So in this way, Lahari Mahasaya, he openly expressed his heart to his Guru Maharaj, Sri Vaishnav Das. And then Vaishnav Das gave a very beautiful teaching. He just said that, "Don't worry, come and sit with me. Come and sit with me and chant with me. I'm sitting here next to you." He pacified very lovingly and then started explaining that a devotee never fears but always fears. How it is? It's kind of a like paradox that a devotee, he never fears but always fears. What is the meaning? So Vaishnav Das Babaji is explaining that it is senseless to agitate the mind over such matters like all these kind of matters which are not in our hands. And he gave a beautiful example of Maharaj Parikshit. He said that Maharaj Parikshit, he got cursed that he will be bitten by the snake Takshak and he will die from that. But Maharaj Parikshit, he gave up all fear of death by snake. And without any distraction, with unflinching heart, he continuously drank the nectar of Harikatha from Srila Shukdev Goswami's mouth. And not just drank, he tasted that supreme bliss even at that crucial period. The period of fear comes, the period of calamity comes. A person tries to get calm and pacified. But Maharaj Parikshit, he is not just getting pacified, but he is actually becoming blissful by tasting that supreme bliss. He is not just being controlled and pacified, he is actually in a higher stage in which he is not just peaceful, he is blissful. He is relishing that supreme bliss. Why? Because the mind, the heart, it's clear that the snake bite can bite my this gross body, but cannot even touch my spiritual body, my chit deha. Cannot touch. The snake bite cannot even touch my mind, intelligence, my subtle body also. Even if I'll die, the subtle body will not die by the bite of snake. By the bite of snake, my gross body will die. By the bite of snake, there will be no issue. There will be no harm to my spiritual body, to my subtle body. Nothing. The only snake, a very beautiful statement Vaishnav Das Babaji Maharaj said. He said that the only snake that can wound the spiritual body is the snake of separation from topics of Sri Hari. Such beautiful point Sri Vaishnav Das told. He said that this bite of this snake will just give harm and give some wound to my this material body. It will not harm my subtle body, what to speak of spiritual body. But there is another snake, the snake of separation, whose bite is very dangerous. The separation from the topics of Sri Hari. That instead of being connected with the Lord and His Hari Katha, I am getting connected with my material things, my desires, my aspirations, material people around me, with all the nonsense. So that kind of poison is much more dangerous. So I have to be fearful from that snake of separation because that can wound my spiritual body. Not just this material body, but subtle body also and spiritual body also. So I have to be very careful with that. So in this way, when Sri Vaishnav Das Babaji Maharaj explained, he also described that there are different kinds of fear. Because the statement that has been made that the sadhus, a devotee, he never fears but always fears. So what are these two different type of fears? A devotee never fears but it always fears. How? A devotee never have any material fears. He never fears from anything material calamities. For example, there are different kinds of fear as we all know. There are fears which are related to this temporary body. This temporary material body, related to it, so many fears are there. Like fear of failing in exam, fear of losing my beauty. With age, I will become less beautiful. So everyone is out of fear buying anti-aging creams and all those cosmetic products. So much endeavors they are doing to get rid of this fear. Then there are fears of failure in business, fear of failures in job, fear of losing my belongings, fear of losing my iPhone, fear of losing anything that belongs to me. And even after coming into devotional life, that fear does not go away. A devotee still stays fearful, a practicing devotee. So this is something for us to contemplate that if I want to become a Vaishnava, I have to get rid of all these kind of fears. Fears of losing partner. These days, so much extramarital affairs. People are falling in attractions, lust. So a person thinks that, oh, if I don't get this partner, then my life will be ruined. I don't want to live a life without him, without her. So the person has the fear of losing the other person. So all these fears are related to what? Because of my identification as this material body. And then anything which is connected to this material body, if there is any danger to that thing which is connected to this body, then I fear. I fear that, oh, it should not be destroyed, it should not be lost, it should not be gone bad, everything should be very nice. So all that fear a devotee never have. Why he never have? Because he understand and realize that as far as this body is considered, as far as this body is considered, there is no need to fear. Instead, we should simply perform whatever necessary karmas we have to do to maintain this body and nothing else. Whatever is necessary to maintain this body, I'll do those karmas, those activities which is necessary. And then I don't have to worry much what I am losing, what I am gaining. Then I have to surrender parallelly. Because when the body collapse, when this body will collapse by the will of Krishna, then it cannot be saved by any kind of efforts. It cannot be saved by any kind of efforts. And if it is the will of Krishna to save me, then even if the snake is just beside me while I'm sleeping, it will not harm me. So Vaishnav Das very strongly explaining to Lahari Mahashay that everything is happening by the will of Krishna. If the time for me has come to die, the time for my demise has come. So what will happen? I will surely die one way or the other. I'll get diseased, if not the snake bite. Something will happen and I'll die. But if the time has not come, if the will of Krishna is not allowing me to die, then hundreds of snakes also, if they are in my room, they will not be able to kill me. They will not bite me. A very beautiful example was given regarding this. Guru Maharaj also gives so many times this example in his Hari Katha that once one Mataji was there, and that Mataji's son was just 5 years, 6 years old. He was playing in the courtyard with many of his young friends, and he was the youngest among all. In that courtyard, there were elderly people also who were doing their stuffs. It's like a park in which they were playing. Now, suddenly, that youngest boy, the son of this Mataji, just 5, 6 years old boy, he got bit by the snake. A snake came and bit him, and the boy died by the poison of the snake. Now, Gautam Rishi, a great saint, a very powerful personality who has so many mystic perfections, he was passing by and he got to know that how this Mataji is crying piteously, knowing that her only son, just 5, 6 years old boy, he died by the bite of a snake. And she is crying piteously, loudly, screaming and asking one question. Then what did my little son did? There were so many boys, even elderly people, who were playing in that park. What did my son do? He was just 5, 6 years old. He did not perform any sinful activity. He has not performed any sin or any offense. Then why he got killed by the snake? There were so many different personalities, like elderly people, boys, adults, who had lived their life, who had performed so many sins also. They have not got killed by the bite of the snake. Why that snake bit my son only? Why did this happen? This was the inquisitive question of that Mataji. And now seeing the pity state of this Mataji, screaming loudly, Gautam Rishi became, his heart melted. And he got also angry that why the snake bit this little boy. So when this Mataji was questioning Gautam Rishi that what was the cause, what my little boy did, so Gautam Rishi angrily, with his mystic potency, he called that snake, "Oh snake, the one who has bit this boy, come at once, otherwise I will destroy your whole family. I will kill not just you, but your whole family." Now that snake, he could hear the mystical voice of Gautam Rishi. And out of fear, he came at once. He came at once with folded hands, stood before Gautam Rishi. Gautam Rishi said that, "Why did you kill this boy? This boy is so little. What wrong did he do? Why did you kill him? Why did you bite him?" Then this snake said, It's not my fault, Rishivar. Oh, Gautam Rishi, I was actually inspired to do so. By whom you were inspired? I was inspired to do so by death. Death personified inspired me to bite this little boy. Oh, so it is all the fault of death. Now, Gautam Rishi is so potent that he called death personified at once. He said, oh, death personified, if you don't come in front of me right now, you will have to experience my anger then. And then this death personified also came with folded hands. He is begging, what was the fault? What wrong did I do? And he again asked that why you inspired this snake to kill this boy. Death said, it was not my fault. I myself got inspired. I was being told to do so. By whom? By time, by Kal. So time personified was called by Gautam Rishi then. One by one, Gautam Rishi is calling all the culprits. First called snake, then called death personified, and then calling time personified. That why you inspired death to come at this particular time only. And then when time personified came, fearing the words of Gautam Rishi, then Gautam Rishi asked that why you inspired death like this? And then time said that it is not my fault. I do everything as per the guidance of Yamarajji. Yamarajji tells that okay, this person's time is finished. So time personified go and inspire death to kill him because his time is finished in this world. So Gautam Rishi said, Yamarajji, he is Dharmaraj. He is the demigod of righteousness. How can he do so? And then in anger he called, Yamraj, come at once. Yamrajji came with folded hands, said, you are the demigod of righteousness. How can you do such an injustice task? You killed a little innocent boy. You got him killed. Yamrajji said, I do not do anything, Prabhu. It is just that I give orders. I just repeat what I hear. I hear everything from Chitraketu. Chitraketu is the one who makes notes of the activities, the karmas that every individual is performing. So Chitraketu make notes, and as per the notes, whatever he tells me, as per that I give an order. So I don't know what Chitraketu has written. Now Chitraketu was Chitragupta, sorry, not Chitraketu, Chitragupta. Now Chitragupta was called. So Chitragupta, who is an associate of whom? Yamarajji. So Chitragupta, when he came, what he did? He told that let me check my diary. He opened his diary and he found that oh, this boy actually killed that particular snake in his previous life. And that's why, even though right now he's just 5 years old, he has not performed any sin. But still, because he has performed a sin of killing another jiva in his previous life, that's the result that he is getting in this life. Now, when that Mataji heard this, that how it was not the fault of anyone but my own son, and he is getting just the result of his fault, his sin. So she became pacified. She became pacified and she stopped crying, understanding the law of nature. Understanding the law of nature, she became pacified. So in this way, the Vaishnavas, they very nicely they understand this law of nature, the law of karma. And that's why they are not fearful. Oh, this disease will come to me. Oh, this will happen to me. This should not happen to me, to my body. No. Because they know that whatever happens to this body is the result of my previous karmas, my previous sinful activities. So the Vaishnavas, they focus more on performing their bhajan instead of focusing on the fear, focusing on all these things that has happened actually. They focus more on bhajan because they know that all my previous accumulated sins can only be destroyed by performing Krishna bhajan. They're very strongly established in that point. And that's why for them, it does not matter what is coming, what is going, what is losing, what is gaining. So we have to understand and realize all these facts that if I am losing something, it is for a purpose. I must have snatched, I must have stolen something from other. And that's why my things have got stolen. So a person who can establish oneself in this siddhanta, in this understandings, in this beautiful cycle of karma, then he can stay very relaxed and focus on the right thing instead of being restless and wasting time. Because a fearful person, he cannot do bhajan. Bhajan can only be done with a restful mind. If there is no peace in my mind, how will I be able to even chant properly? If all the time there is a fear, oh, this might happen, that might happen, will my focus be there on chanting? Will I be able to relish the holy names? No, never. That's why it was told by Vaishnav Das that a fearful person can never do bhajan. Therefore, until one gets rid of this fear of snakes and all such things, one is not fit to be called as a Vaishnava. Because a Vaishnava is fearless from all material things, material fears. Because if the mind is agitated by such fears, one will not be able to focus, fix the brain, fix the mind upon the lotus feet of Lord Hari. So one should certainly stop being fearful like this. A person, Guru Maharaj only gives another example regarding this, that how a person very fearful of that nothing should happen to his body, but at the same time he wants to perform bhajan. So he desired to go to the forest so that he can perform bhajan nicely, because in the house it's very difficult. So he wanted to go to some forest and perform bhajan. There will be no disturbance, there will be no material people, no such things. Very like I'll associate with myself, I'll not associate with materialistic people. Now, as soon as he was trying to go out, there came a fear of food. That what will happen? How will I get food? How will I be able to eat nice stuff that I eat here? And then he got different kinds of fears in the mind, that there will be wild animals, there will be rainfall, there will be heat, there will be snakes, there will be scorpions, insects, they will bite me, I'll get killed there. No, 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 I will not go. And then that fear became so much that even in the house, he is not going out for shopping also, thinking that the car may get accident. This human body is very rare. I have got this human body, I'll perform bhakti, I'll chant, I'll just protect myself. So that is one kind of extremist, in which a person is not able to surrender but is so fearful of everything. Now Guru Maharaj is describing that, how that person died. Out of fear from everything, he actually closed himself in the safest room of his house. That safest room, which will not break down even in earthquake, which will not get flooded, which will not get any kind of calamity in that room. So now this person, he is sitting and meditating, sitting in that safest room that he created for himself. Now there in that room there was a big painting. He decorated that room, so there was a big painting, and under that painting he was meditating, chanting, whatever he's doing. And he died because that painting fell on his head in that safest room. So he died out of that painting, that big wall painting, which was heavy enough. When it fell on the head of this person, he got bleeded, and by internal injury, he died. So a person who tried to create the safest zone for himself, He is not going to forest, he is not going outside, he is not doing anything out of that fear that I will protect my body. Was he able to protect his body? Was he able to really get rid of death? No. When death came, he cannot do anything. That's why in Hindi there is a saying, Rakhe Krishna Mare Krishna Rakhe ke. If Krishna has desired to kill someone, who in this world can protect him? No one can protect him. And if Krishna has desired to protect that person, who in the whole world can kill that person or harm a little bit also? And the great example is Parikshit Maharaj. It's not Parikshit Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj, he was attempted by his father. His father Hiranyakashipu attempted so much to kill Prahlad Maharaj with different means, but not even a single scratch came on the body of Prahlad Maharaj. Hiranyakashipu threw him from the top of the hills, top of big mountains, tried to get him crushed under the feet of elephants, threw him in the room full of thousands of snakes, poisonous snakes, and was thrown in the fire. But nothing happened. Nothing happened. Not even a scratch came. Why? Because the person who is getting protection from Krishna, no one in this world can harm that person in any sense. What to speak of killing? So, Shri Vaishnav Das Babaji, he is explaining to this Lahari Mahashay all these beautiful points, describing that there is no point for the saints, for devotees, for Vaishnava to fear from all these material calamities. Should focus more on his own bhajan. But at the same time, there is also a great fear in the heart of Vaishnavas. What is that great fear? The sadhus, they fear from one thing. See, they know Lahari Mahasaya, after hearing all these words of Vaishnav Das Babaji, he said that, Gurudev, I have really realized what you are trying to say. And the words that you have said actually penetrated my heart. It is true now that to obtain the highest benefit, one has to elevate one's consciousness, have to come out of all these material attachments which are the cause of fear. Material attachments are the cause of fear. So one has to elevate the consciousness to get rid of those material attachments. And many great souls who want to perform bhajan, they actually live in mountain, in the caves, in dense forest, and they are not at all afraid of all these wild animals. Instead, there is another kind of fear in those hearts, in the hearts of those devotees. What is the fear? Fear of the association of materialistic people. The devotees is always fearful for this, that somehow or other by some great fortune, I have got the association of whom? Association of Gurudev, association of these pure saints, this great Krishna conscious philosophy. Now, I should not do anything which will make me away from it, which will take this Krishna consciousness away from me. I should not do this. And I should always stay fearful from materialistic people who can actually bring a great loss in my life. What is the great loss? What actually materialistic people do when I associate with them? What actually happens because of which I get a great loss? What is that? That great loss is the forgetfulness of Krishna and Guru. Just in our own life, we experience this. As soon as we get out of that shell of devotees, as soon as we get out of the shell of sadhu sangha, we go out and associate with materialistic people. At once, We forget about all good things. We forget about our chanting. We forget about all those beautiful Harikatha discussions, all those beautiful discourses, all those important instructions that my Guru Maharaj, that the Vaishnavas has given me. And I start engaging in all nonsense activities which does not make any real progress in my life. So why this happens? Because of the forgetfulness. I just completely forget what is important for me. I have got this human life and I start wasting it with materialistic association. Why? Because of forgetfulness. Even after coming with devotee association and knowing that, oh, this is so important for me, in this human life, I have very less time. It's very limited time, and I have to make the best use of it. But just by little association of materialistic people, what happens? I forget everything. And I start uh, getting engaged in all time waste things, all waste of time. And that association is not required outside. These days, by the influence of Kali, by the so-called improvement of technology also, obviously it has a good side and bad side, but it is our choice. We have to be fearful that what choices I am making. For example, we all have our smartphones, which is the source of good association and bad association both. So now it's my choice that which association I'm taking. Am I taking good association from that, or I'm taking bad association from that? So that choice is always there. Even if I'll go out and meet with people, I always have choice whom I have to make friends with and whom I have to stay away from. But what happens? By our own weakness, we get attracted to the materialistic philosophies and habits. And then slowly, we don't even realize, and we just spend hours and hours in our smartphone doing all kind of materialistic association, hearing the words of materialistic people who have no contact, no connection with sadhus, no connection with Vaishnavas and Krishna. And we hear very nicely with complete focus what they are saying, what they are doing, what they are acting, what they are dancing. So it's something to fear from. As soon as, like, I'm talking this to myself only, that as a devotee who is trying to progress, I should be fearful whenever I am holding any kind of things. When, like, suppose I am holding smartphone, which is always with me, I have to be very fearful that may I not associate with materialistic people through this, which will result in forgetfulness to Krishna and the instructions of my Guru Maharaj. And that forgetfulness will lead to a great loss. So every second, every minute is a choice. It's a choice of good association and bad association. Because both good and bad association is in our pocket in the form of different gadgets, in the form of different people also. So it's a tough decision, and that's what we require the training for. This is the training of the mind to choose to stay fearful from all these things and to choose the right thing. If I'm not fearful, oh, it's okay. I'm not going out. I'm just being in my room. And what if I just watch some movies? What's wrong in that? I can watch some movies. Then what will happen? I am, because of lack of fear, I'm being very relaxed, and I very easily opt for bad association, materialistic association. And then watching that movie, I feel that, oh, so nice clothing this actress and this hero and heroine, they are wearing so nice clothes. I also want to wear these clothes. I also want to have such kind of hairstyle. I also want to have such kind of beard. I also want to have this kind of body physique, this and that. This comes naturally because I'm associating. I also want to have that car. I also want to have that house like they have. I will also go to vacations. They went to this vacation. So all these kind of things comes naturally as soon as we start associating, and then it's our choice. So fear is not bad in itself. Fear is good, but what kind of fear? The devotees, the real Vaishnavas, they have no fear from material calamities, and they have a lot of fear from bad association and forgetfulness of Krishna. And our state, my state, I would say, is completely different. It's exact opposite of how Vaishnava's state is. My state is like I am very fearful from losing my material things. I am fearful of losing my material uh, name, fame, anything, my gadgets, all the things that are my belongings. I'm very fearful. And I am not at all fearful while choosing material association. I am not at all fearful while opting all that kind of association which would lead to forgetfulness. I'm not at all fearful. I'm very chill and relaxed in that. So this is a great problem and disease in me, which I have to correct. Because if I don't, then there is no point I can actually enter into this ocean of bliss. There is no point I can actually, there is no way I can actually relish that bhakti ras, the nectar of devotion. To relish that nectar of devotion, I have to make some choices. I have to be fearful from the right thing. I have to be fearful from all unfavorable things which are near me. So every day is like a war. Every day is a fight. And that fight is a good fight. Srila Prabhupada used to say his disciples that as soon as you wake up in the morning, start beating your mind with your shoes. Start beating your mind with the shoes. And when you are going to sleep at night, again start beating your mind with a broom. Take a broom and start beating your mind. So does it mean? Does it really mean that a person has to actually take the shoe and start hitting on the head? We have to understand the essence of what Srila Prabhupada ji is saying. He is saying about the choices. I don't want oh, it's so boring, always chanting. 16 rounds, it takes 2 hours. So boring, so time taking. Let's just watch a movie. So it's a choice. So beating the head, beating the brain, beating the mind with the shoe is no. The meaning of beating the mind with the shoe is that no, saying no to sense enjoyment and saying forceful yes to this kind of medicine of Hari Katha and Hari Nam. So this force is required at our stage because we are not yet Raganugas. We are not yet Raganugas who have spontaneous attraction. We don't have spontaneous attraction towards Krishna and Vaishnavas. We have spontaneous attraction towards Maya Devi, towards all sense enjoyment things. So in that state, it's very important for us to be fearful and make the right choices. And the real inspiration to make the right choices, the strongness to make the right choices, comes by only one means in the initial stage, and that is Harikatha. Harikatha makes our intelligence strong so that it can overpower our mind and make the mind take right decisions. Stay fearful from the right thing, not the wrong thing. Stay fearful from the forgetfulness, not from the material calamities, material loss or gain. So, this is a very important point that Shri Vaishnav Das is explaining. And Lahari Mahasaya, he understood that how, what is that particular thing which I have to be afraid of, fearful of, and what is that thing which I should not be. So this snake bite, even if that snake comes again, I should not be fearful. I should focus on my chanting. And I should always be fearful from bad association. May I never leave my Guru Maharaj. May I never leave his physical association, his any kind of association. May I never leave Krishna consciousness. So this kind of fear will help us progress. So it's already time. Just one thing. After hearing these words of Vaishnav Das, Lahari Mahasaya, he became so much attracted to the qualities of Vaishnavas, that how this is so rare to see and understand the concept of fear. I never thought about fear in such a way. It is so amazing. And appreciating like this, Lahari Mahasaya, he, with folded hands, said to Vaishnav Das Babaji that, "Oh Babaji, oh Guru Maharaj, my faith is really increased. Just by hearing your words, my faith has increased. And I feel that Nitya Dharma that we have been discussing in the previous chapter, Nitya Dharma and Vaishnava Dharma, they have very close connection. But still, I'm not really convinced and understanding this point that they are identical. How is Nitya Dharma and Vaishnav Dharma are not just similar but are identical? There can be many dharmas which can be similar to Nitya Dharma, but becoming identical to Nitya Dharma is another thing. And you are saying that Vaishnav Dharma is completely identical to Nitya Dharma. How? I want to understand this. So this is the question which Lahari Mahasaya he asked to Sri Vaishnav Das. A very important question which will again clear so many concepts in our Gaudiya philosophy. So many concepts of Vaishnavism. That how Vaishnavism, Vaishnav Dharma is so pure and tender. It is free from all kind of faults. How it is? That we will be understanding in our next class. That how Vaishnav Dharma is the eternal Dharma. It's the Nitya Dharma, free from all faults, all kind of um, wrong things, all kind of impurity, free from everything, just pure Krishna consciousness. How it is, we will hear this in next class. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Dandavat pranams to everyone. Thank you so much. Please be ready for the next week's quiz. Hopefully, we will have it on Friday. And then after that, we will be able to continue this particular chapter because on Monday, I will be going to Vrindavan. So probably I'll not be able to take the class on Monday. Friday, we will have quiz. And then after that, we will continue with our this chapter 4. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranams.